Hello and welcome to episode 17 of the Tea in Tokyo podcast. My name is Somya.
And I'm Ellie.
And what are we talking about this week?
So this week is a super speedy update on our lives.
Yep, that's right. It's coming up right now. Alright, well this week's one is honestly going to be a short one. There's not a whole lot to cover. It is our last week of staying at home.
Well, as in, we're probably still going to stay at home outside of working, right?
Yeah. So it's the last week of our work break. Although most of next week we actually have off as well until Thursday because of Golden Week. So next week is Golden Week. It's a week where a bunch of public holidays here in Japan all fall in the same week. So people get, along with the weekend, they get like 5 days in a row off.
It's like a super popular holiday because it's like a guaranteed holiday for almost every Japanese worker. And for us, it's really popular because everyone has work off, so a bunch of them try to like fit in as many classes as they can. Yeah,
it's by far the busiest week for us. We were told to make sure that we didn't go away during Golden Week.
Well, not that we can't, but that they highly recommend you don't because, you know, there's high demand.
But obviously that's not going to happen anymore. So next week we actually start on Thursday. Golden Week ends on Wednesday.
And Thursday is training.
Yeah, that's right. So we have training on Thursday, and then we have training again on Tuesday, I think, right?
Yeah, so our training on Thursday was originally meant to be our 2-month, it's called like build-up certification, but that originally fell during that initial 3 weeks our work closed, and then they rescheduled it, and then it closed for 4 weeks, and it was during that, so it's been rescheduled, and it's gone to the point where our next training on the Tuesday is technically meant to be our 4-month one, so we're having to do them like a couple of days apart, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous because it is properly like examined.
Yeah.
Like there's a test at the end of it, although...
No, I don't think there's one test. I think there's like 5 tests, like there's tests throughout.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's a whole day certification kind of thing.
But I think the testing is literally like, they give you a student, like a student profile, and then they're like, tell us how you would, give us one example of how you would relate this specific lesson to this student's profile.
Yeah.
So it's like stuff that we know how to do. Although I'm worried because we're going to be so out of practice because
that's the thing.
We're going back after a month of not working. Basically 2 months because we only worked 1 week in the middle between those two. So.
And also I feel like because of this, maybe they'll go kind of easier. You know, they can't afford anyone failing.
Well, I mean, they probably won't go easy, but I think maybe they'll give us more hints or something. I don't know. I don't think it needs hints. I think it sounds like, from speaking to other staff members at our work, it sounds pretty, like, straightforward.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much designed to be something that you can't fail.
I don't know, one person... So I have this guy at my work who's, like, relatively nice, but he always called me darling and lovey and stuff. So, like, small things that frustrate me. Like,
but he's not a 6-year-old.
Yeah, no, he's not. Like he's like, he started around the same time as me, and he failed his, which I'm not. Like, he's very like, he's not here to be a teacher, you know. You know, he's not someone. So I think that's different. Like, me and you are both like, we like need this job, we want this job. He's here on like a spouse visa, so he doesn't actually need the job or really want it. It sounds like, but yeah, so it is possible to fail it, not to freak you out or anything.
Yeah. It should be alright though.
Yeah. Although we also, talking about work, we both got calls that our like studios are going to be starting doing online classes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we were like wondering if they're going to be doing this or not, because it sort of made sense that they would start online classes because of everything that's happening. Apparently, according to them, this is something that they were planning on doing anyway, but it was sort of a long way away from actually happening. But then they've had to fast-track everything. So they're hoping that starting June 1st, that we'll be able to do online training. Online lessons. But I think they said that it wouldn't be available for everyone.
I got an email from my manager saying that only like certain studios have been chosen. So I think it's probably based on like how busy they are, like how central and main they are. And that when I spoke to my manager called me later and I asked her, and she said that it's like each area has had a studio chosen. So mine was chosen for our area, but Somya's is also doing them.
Yeah,
when she said area, I thought she meant like all of Tokyo, but maybe they've split Tokyo up into like...
No, I feel like she maybe didn't know, because didn't she also say that like in my work they might they'll be doing it but only for people who already have training
Well,
for
no,
it.
she mentioned that your work already had it. So
Yeah,
so
that's
you
right,
she
yeah.
said that you might continue to do it, or it might only stay with what the capacity already is.
Oh, right.
But she also said that it was up to like the manager of each specific studio and if they wanted to implement the online training.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because my work, we already do online lessons, but there's only 5 computers that can do it, and I think they've only trained 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, and I mean
so
that's,
it's really, really rare.
and
like
it's a
5
part
out
of
30,
of
really.
the delay is the fact that they don't have the means for everyone.
Yeah,
to do
they
it
said
right
they
now.
need to buy the headsets and stuff, right?
Yeah, mine mentioned that if there's a delay, it'll be because, like, obviously right now every business is trying to work from home.
Yeah.
So headsets are like something that are in high demand. So
I know that some other companies are already English, Aikawa's here, are already doing that online training. So I feel like our one was a little bit slow. But at the same time, we actually heard something really bad last week where there's this one English learning company where the people aren't even being paid.
yeah, I'll
right,
name and
they-
shame them. It's in case anyone was thinking of coming to Japan, right? And they want to know which
True, yeah, who
companies
the
are
hell
good.
who was it?
Nova.
Ah,
So
Nova,
they're a big
yeah.
one that we looked at, and I actually applied for ages ago. And the guy who interviewed me was really nice. They offered me the job, but because I wasn't sure of my move date at the time, he was like super nice, and he was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Like, email us when you know what's happening, and then, you know, because they wanted me to move over immediately, and this was like when we were still a few months off, and so the guy was like, you know, email us when you come, and then, you know, we'll see if we have any positions. But in the end, I ended up going for this other company instead, and I'm very glad that I did, because
Yeah.
apparently this one is not paying their staff. Like, this is stuff that I wouldn't want to name and shame too much, in that this is just what I saw on like a Teaching English in Japan, like some Facebook pages.
I think that said that. No, I mean it is actually happening. I've seen
Okay,
other
good.
places
Okay,
as
so it's
well.
not just like rumor.
Yeah, and apparently, like
Not
the
good.
students are, well, the teachers are being told that they have to go to class, and if they don't, then they won't get paid.
Mm.
And also, it said that the teachers were now planning on doing like a strike, but
Mm.
if anyone like did a strike, then they would just be fired or something. So yeah, it really makes you appreciate our one so much more.
It's one of those things as well where, like, when I was researching companies to apply for when we were in New Zealand, the company we work for and this other one, they have like very similar ratings with similar reviews on their, I don't know, like there's this website like Glassdoor.
Yeah.
Like, they've got really similar ratings, but I noticed that our one, all of the, like, it had like 3 out of 5 stars kind of thing. But the ratings that were like lower for our one was stuff that we both considered positives.
Oh,
So
yeah.
someone would give it a 1 star saying like, you know, you have to schedule your own classes, there's no set schedule, which
Yeah.
for us was a positive. So that's why we went for our company in the end, and now it's like, phew, like, thank goodness.
I wonder how Jet's doing, because they're the big one, eh?
Well, Jet's the Japanese government, so they're fine.
Ah, right. Okay.
Jet is like, yeah, like, Jet, I mean, it kind of has like, I feel like I've heard that its reputation lately hasn't been as good because they've got kind of like an issue in that, like, they're mainly rural areas, and it's a similar situation, right, where the teachers are required to go to work for a full work week even if there's no work at all.
Ah, right.
And they're not allowed to like go on Facebook, so they literally just have to go to like work and sit there for
Yeah.
like a full day and do
Yeah.
nothing. And also, I know people personally who have had like really bad experiences with like sexual assault from like co-workers there,
Right.
and they haven't taken it very seriously. So I think we've really like lucked out
Yeah, we actually have.
with our company. Maybe when we leave here, we'll like, you know, we'll maybe like once we're no longer employed, we can go into detail about what the company is and stuff.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. And give like the specifics of how to get involved and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing was, so they're wanting to train us for the online lessons. And they told us that the training would be like one-on-one at our learning studios.
Well, not necessarily one-on-one. mine said that if we're open, it might be a big training day.
Oh, right, yeah, that's right.
But she kind of said a couple of times, it made me think that we're not necessarily opening next week, because she said a few times, like several times in the conversation, if we don't open, we'll still go into our own studio, which is good because all other training takes place in Nishi Shinjuku, which is 3 trains away from us.
Yeah.
So it takes like 2 hours to get there. Whereas this training will happen at our own studio.
2 hours?
Isn't that how long it took us to get to Nishi Shinjuku?
No way.
How long was it?
It took like 45 minutes?
No way. It was
Yeah.
way longer than that.
No, honestly, it was like 45 minutes.
My
There's
memory,
no way that was 2
my memory
hours.
remembers it being 2
That's insane. No, yeah, it wasn't 2 hours.
Anyways, it takes ages, but like the main thing is we have to catch 3 separate trains to get to
we
them.
have to get 3 different times.
Compared to like catching one for like 10 minutes for me. And she said that if we are closed, we'll be doing like either one-on-one training with our manager directly, or it'll be like small as training groups, like you and one or 2 other people.
Yeah, and they said like, are we okay coming in? Because even if we're not open, they said, you know, you still have to come in for training for that. And yeah, they asked us if we were okay with it or whatever. And yeah, I think we are.
Well, they're not offering this to every like instructor, so it's like
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
it would be
right.
pretty dumb if we said no.
Yeah, I felt bad because I was messaging the people at my work when Ellie got the call, and I told them, oh, you know, Shinagawa is doing this online thing, but not everyone's doing it. Tokyo is not going to be doing it for a while. And then literally the next day, I got a call from my work saying, hey, you can do it too. And then I didn't message them back saying, oh, well, actually, I did get a call, because then I felt like I don't know what to do, because not everyone would have got a call. So it's like, do you message everyone saying that, you know, you got a call if they're not going to get one? Like Ellie did that with her person at her
Well,
work.
I'm
She
only
messaged
messaged
them.
one person.
Yeah, but it's still though the same thing applies, right?
But you know what? I messaged him, and then it turns out he'd already had the call, and he hadn't messaged me. So,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
I feel like there was an unequal,
Yeah.
you know.
Actually, yeah. I mean, when I messaged the whole group chat about it, I only got a reply from 2 people. I imagine that a lot of people might have already got the call.
Yeah.
You know, especially because people were already talking about it at my work, actually. So yeah, actually, they'd been calling for a while, so I'm sure other people got the call.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, right, where, like, me and you is so, like, or at least even just me, like, I've never understood the culture around, like, hiding your, like, contract, or, like, I don't know, like, not being open about, like, how much money you're making. Like, I've never understood that.
You mean with people at work? Or with
Just
anyone?
like, just with anyone. Like, I've
Yeah,
never,
same.
I've
I've
never
been
really
pretty
understood
open
it.
with
Yeah, so, like, I think maybe that's a part of, like, us telling other people is, like, we don't consider it, like, a secret. Whereas some people, for them,
I've actually
that might
thought
be
about
different.
this like a bit, where yeah, I don't really care about talking about how much money I make and stuff, but I think that also has to do with the fact that we've never had proper jobs. Like, we've never had an actual, like, full-time proper job, you know.
When I worked at CCST, that was full-time proper.
Yeah, but like, did you really care about that job?
Yeah, I enjoyed that job. I was
I know,
good
but
at that job.
I feel like once it's like your actual career, and
Yeah,
then
but if we hadn't been planning on coming to Japan, I would have happily stayed in that job as like a career path.
right.
Like, clinical research is a valuable thing.
Because I always feel like that's the thing. Like, the reason I don't care is because, you know, I can say, oh, this is how much I earn, but you know, it's only temporary, and then I'm going to be moving on, kind of thing. But if it wasn't temporary, then I'd be like, oh shit.
See,
I don't-
I think
maybe I
our
won't talk
takes
about
on it are very different then, because mine is like, it's almost like I do care about it, but I've made a conscious decision that I will be open about that sort of thing, because like in my personal view, one of the like, this is getting like really deep and philosophical, I apologize, is like one of the reasons that we have so much inequality in the world, or at least especially in like the first world, is because people hide these things. You know, like if you don't know what you're like, if you're not conscious of like your own like privilege, you know, if you don't know that the person who you work with is earning less than you even though you do the same job, how are you going to ever
Yeah,
like
that's true.
challenge it or combat? I don't know, like, so it's a conscious decision for me to be open
Yeah, I
about
definitely
that sort of thing.
don't think that deep. I think that's for myself. So today it's going to be a super short episode, and unfortunately we've actually already run out of time.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So
Did we even talk about anything?
we didn't really know, but that's kind of this is sort of an update episode. You know, we're in the cusp of ending one part of our Japanese lives, being stuck in self-isolation, to now maybe going to the other side where things start opening up again, and maybe we go back to work, but now work is completely different. So
Yeah.
we'll see how things change
true.
now.
True. I mean, the other thing that we did this week as an update was we just did a whole lot of online shopping.
Yeah, we actually have gaming computers now. So, well, a computer.
We have to fight over who gets to play on the computer.
Yeah, so we're
really
doing that now.
battle it out, you know.
Actually, yeah, one thing we were talking about though was how it was actually kind of a good thing that we've had to spend so much time at home not going out, because two things. Number one, it's got us to save money, which we wouldn't have done otherwise.
Yeah.
And now we can sort of be more aware of what we're spending money on. Maybe, you know, be more selective.
So, like, in that, it was like I was saying to Sammy before, like, we were already planning on going to, like, all the standard stuff, like Kyoto and Osaka. We were going to, like, be super stingy with our travel. Whereas now when we go, we can probably, like, do a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, having, like, a slightly better experience.
Yeah, and also this allows us to be more, like, introspective, you know? And
yeah.
I think we're kind of more aware of things now, and we can kind of digest them more and, like, enjoy them more.
You know, when you're stuck at home with your thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, that's it. So see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.